they were gonna pay me $500 for pictures of my hands and feet.
Walk it like I talk it. Woo. Walk it like I talk it. Hey. Walk it like I 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 talk it.
Cheers. Okay, we need another drink.
Okay.
Alright, what's up guys? It's Streeter here, and today I'm coming at you guys with the first episode of our mini series talk show. I don't know how to even describe it. I call it a podcast, but it's going to be edited and mostly just with video format. But I have my lovely co-host. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Dan. One of Streeter's good friends. Acquaintances with Marc.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. So.
Hey guys, I'm Marc. I don't know Dan. I like long walks on the beach, holding hands, and stuff that won't get us banned.
As some of you guys may have noticed, I've been posting a lot on my social media platforms talking about that 2019 is going to be the year that I start incorporating more of my personality and becoming more of a content creator. What I mean by this is the stuff that I show you guys now is pretty much just flips and trick shots and me falling while doing both of those things. So with this show, I plan to talk more about my story, talk more about what I've learned throughout this social media journey in the past 3 years now, where I've been big on social media for this area. And that is what we plan to do on here, and I hope you guys will stick around and watch this and progress with us as the show goes on. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be funny. There's going to be a lot that we can all learn together. And yeah, that's pretty much the purpose of the show. As Dan is pouring another drink. Yeah, that's the purpose of the show. What we want to do right now is dive right into it and start talking about who we are. If you don't know us, you guys pretty much have a handle on what I do, but I'll give you guys a brief little introduction. I'm Andrew Streeter. I'm 21 years old. We all go to SUNY Potsdam here, and the way that I've been put into this position is stop making fun of my hand gestures.
Sorry, go ahead.
The way that I've been put into this position to where I'm able to create this content for you right now is that about almost 3 years ago, it'll be 3 years ago in December, so 2 years ago, I entered an internet contest for the Harlem Globetrotters where I did a backflip full court shot, and ever since then my life has changed drastically. There was a time where I grew 10,000 followers in about 5 months, and now we're here. Now I'm getting older and progressing with what I want to do, and just here to create some more content with you guys. Pass it to Dan, let him give you a brief introduction of what he does, what his hobbies are, and what he's about to bring to the table for the show as well.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. I go to SUNY Potsdam as well. I'm from a small town in upstate New York. I make music, the regular hobbies. I hope to bring something to this show.
Some comedy.
Some comedy, hopefully.
He has a comedic mind.
Some inspirational thoughts, maybe around the way. If not, this is a huge waste of everyone's time.
Hey guys, Marc. I go to SUNY Potsdam. Been around for a while. I'm enjoying both my senior years that I've had here so far. It's been a blast, and it's how we've gotten, I think, as close as we have this year especially. I play guitar. I take some videos, post them on social media every now and then. It's very casual though, so it's nothing too crazy.
We're definitely getting a little more into it now though.
Yeah, definitely trying to
TikTok
ride the
brought us
coattails of this
together.
guy, so.
TikTok is a matchmaker.
As much as everyone hates to say it.
As much as everyone,
TikTok.
as much as no one will ever say it, TikTok is.
All of our 12-year-old fans really would agree with us.
No, if you guys have come here from our TikTok and you've been in the live streams, you know that Marc's in just about every single one of my live streams.
Guys.
It's something cool that we can do together.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's always a blast. It's always a good time. You never know what's going to happen.
It's always good to also get creative energy out, which is something that we don't get to do a lot here. I mean, in your classes, you might be able to when you're in the class for your major, but any other time than that, it's hard to really show who you are, especially when it comes to like music.
Yeah.
Especially because we go to a school where our music program is like
It's huge. It's like
very
it's like
huge.
another school.
It's one of
So
the best in the
when we
country,
do
I
it
think.
more or less as a hobby, it's harder to get your name out there. So it's very awesome that we have like the social media age that we're in right now, to where we can express ourselves and get recognition and acknowledgement from people all around the world, which is
Yeah.
so awesome. And it's even crazier that we can recognize the people when they're in there now,
Mhm.
which is something that is so crazy. Like, we've gotten fan mail,
You got regulars.
and we definitely have regulars.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
Where
Something I
they
never
know all of us.
deal with.
Even Dan isn't always in the. Dan's rarely ever in the
I
frame.
make
He's always
cameos, I
there.
make
Yeah.
cameos.
He's always there, but like we have like 5 or 6 people that are always like, "Hey, is Dan there today?" And you know, as weird as it sounds, TikTok has been my favorite social media platform right now, just because of the fan base that I have been fortunate to gain from it. They're very supportive.
Yeah, 'cause,
people.
like in the beginning, you were like worried about it just because.
I was very
just
worried
'cause,
about it.
like,
I was very worried about
Everyone,
Everyone
just,
hates TikTok.
I
basically- 'cause-
was one of the biggest haters on TikTok
Dude,
until I was able to realize what exactly it did for Streeter and myself and all of us, really, with what we were able to do with live streams. And expand off of that creative energy idea that you had. There's a lot of times when we're on TikTok, we understand our audience and how they're not exactly the same age as us. I'm 22, you're 21, and you're like 12. But like sometimes the creative energy will flow in a certain way, and we're like, it has to be followed up by us saying, please don't ban us, because we've had troubles with that in the
We've
past.
had troubles with that.
Especially on live
Yeah.
stream.
Actually, from these, I think
From those, yeah.
I actually got confirmation back that it was because we were doing that, especially on it when. So on Instagram, for example, my demographic is very different compared to TikTok. My demographic on Instagram,
Mhm.
my main audience is like 20 to 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the actual audience, because
Mhm.
they usually, the way that analytics work on Instagram, when it shows you your demographic, says like 20 to 25-year-olds, and then 25 or 26-year-olds to 30-year-olds.
Mhm.
But those are my 2 largest audiences. And to be honest, 13 to 17 is one of my smallest. But when you go to TikTok, that's all there is.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
all there is it's, I would say, even younger than 13. We have like 6, 7, 8-year-olds in there,
Yeah.
up to
Yeah,
about
but then
15.
you watch, you go into the For You page, and you got some 60-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit or
That's the
miss or
one
something,
thing-
like,
That's the one thing that is awful with TikTok is that is the only thing that I would say that they need to crack down on more is who's on the art, like who's using it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't. Like,
Yeah, you can't
You can't
use it
say
because
it's gotta be free, yeah.
business wise,
yeah.
they don't care.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't have to care because they have people using the app.
Let them. Like, it's just. It's
Let 'em,
sad.
but it's
so
just-
sad.
It's sad and it's also creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it is very creepy.
If it's
When you-
creepy to us, I think that it's creepy to more than us, you know?
well,
Well,
you
maybe
have
like-
not
like,
because they're getting 100,000 likes on the.
Yeah.
and then you have like the
The
old
little
people duetting the young girls.
Oh, I know, in the
And-
creepy videos.
So if you don't know what duetting is, essentially it is the young people will post a video, and then you can have an option to make a collage video where you guys are side by side, and the new person making the video can essentially react.
That's where
or-
you do a really good job.
Yeah, you're very good at those.
Yeah.
He likes the
Yeah,
duets.
those are awesome.
Because there's also a bully culture on
Yeah.
TikTok, which is
You're gonna get that anywhere though.
there is, but the TikTok one is so great. It's
I
so
love-
untapped. Like
I love
if anything like that was on any other social media page, it would get cracked down so much harder.
Yeah.
If you had that stuff on Twitter, you'd be having.
Oh, I know, because the TikTok is so young, so the fuck boys and the douchebags can post all they want, and they'll get the
Go
little girls.
yeah.
off, Queen.
And then-
Go put it
off.
But then you get people like our age going in, and they're like, "Dude, this is not right. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Something
call
is
you out
wrong
for that.
here."
Yeah, we're gonna call you out for that." And yeah, it's just so for the
So,
things people come up with is hilarious.
You have an Instagram account, that demographic's different than a YouTube account. As we go into
Actually, YouTube would be more or less the same as my Instagram, because the way that my Instagram and YouTube work, it's pretty much the same people.
Mhm.
Now that you can connect your YouTube account to TikTok,
Yeah.
you have more of the younger kids subscribing to you,
Yeah.
but you can still check who watches your videos.
It seems like it's more fluid because you're able to have different ways for people to, like, it's easier for people to be on TikTok and be, oh, this person has a YouTube account, I'm just going to click this button and it's going to take me directly there.
Yeah, and the way that you think it too is like on TikTok, I've got about 60,000 followers in 2 months,
Yeah.
which is like
Blew up.
insane.
Do you remember the
However-
night when it first blew up?
Oh yeah, I was pacing around the house.
Yeah.
Because
You were nuts.
it was my
This
first
was
video
nuts.
on my own
Dude
social
would not
media.
Yeah.
get off the fucking phone.
Well, it was the first video on my, like, a platform that I
like,
own
it was
that got
blowing up.
100 or a million views.
Yeah.
And it got it in 2-3 days.
Mhm.
And then the other one, which is about to hit 2 million now, blew up, and those jump started me.
Mhm.
But the way that worked is TikTok, as much as I love the app, has one of the most, just because you have 60,000 followers on Instagram,
Mhm.
is 10 times more valuable than 60,000 followers on
Yeah, I think we
TikTok.
talked about this the other day.
It's very weird how it works. Brands are more likely to work with you on Instagram because it's a more it's an easier platform to promote on.
Yeah.
TikTok is 15-second videos where the ways that they blow up, the algorithm is different.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't even it's very hard for you to even be seen some of the times on the following page from the people who are following you. So it's like it's very hard. The algorithm is very weird, and doesn't mean it's bad by any means. I don't want to sit here and bash TikTok
Certainly
as something
different-
that's
certainly
doing
different
awesome for me.
thing.
I'm not bashing it by any means. I'm taking my
Being honest,
perspective
bro.
on
Being
the stuff.
honest.
The stuff that I know about social media. The way that Instagram works is Instagram's pretty reliable. That if you miss this post, like I go on Instagram at 5 o'clock, somebody posted at 4 o'clock, I don't see it at 5 o'clock. I'm darn well gonna see it at 8 o'clock when I go back on my phone because it shows you the stuff that you haven't seen already from your following page. And the way that works is that it's just a consistent feed as well. So if your followers are active on your account, they're gonna see your account.
Right.
And that's where it differs between TikTok and Instagram. Things that TikTok does well is incorporating the donations into the live stream, which is extremely huge for content creators who are on that app. Because as we know, it's not that hard to get donations on there. Like
per
reality,
capita, like based off of the amount of people that are in a live stream and the amount of donations that'll come in, it's certainly different than it would be for any other social media thing.
the only other one that can relate to it is something like Twitch, where you have people choosing to pay to watch your content. Essentially is what a donation is.
Yeah.
They're choosing to pay because they enjoy your content, and then that's what they want to do. But to segue into some of this social media talk, I want to talk to you guys about some of the weirdest and oddest or best or some of the craziest experiences that we've had on social media, whether it be seeing our racist uncle on Facebook to seeing the weirdest tweets on Twitters or some weird DMs. Because I know one of the big things that's going on in Instagram DMs is you have all these porn accounts DMing you to go and watch the things. And that's pretty crazy. I want to start it off by talking about one of the weirdest DMs that I've ever gotten from a real person, because I could go on their page and watch. It's happened about a year ago when I was blowing up for my second backflip shot, the round off one that made it on the Sports Center.
Sure.
I was gaining a lot because it was being reposted. That's the way that I gained on Instagram, is by submitting to pages who specify in user-generated content, which means that they don't necessarily, the focal point of their posts aren't them creating content. It's taking the best from everybody, because it's a win-win. They get views on theirs, and then it gains the person followers. So during this time, I gained a ton of followers, and I would get DMs from people telling me it's awesome. The weirdest one that I got, I was asked, they were gonna pay me $500 for pictures of my hands and feet.
Ooh.
It was.
And you didn't take it?
What?
It's $500, man.
Would you have took it?
No, but did you?
Yeah.
Did you look at their profile?
I've done it for 20
Yeah, it was
years.
real.
You
It was
can't
like a real
identify me by
profile.
my
It has
hands
been
and feet.
on there. The profile was on there for like.
Was it like a
years.
fetish or like it was a fetish thing?
It was a
Kinda
fetish
has to
thing
be.
because as soon as I was like, it seemed like a younger fan. I thought the guy was younger. When people message me, I usually try to respond and just be like, hey, thanks, it means a lot, because
Right.
you guys are the reason I do it.
Stay connected.
Not trying to be corny, but it's like if you create a connection with somebody, they're gonna always interact with you because they have that personal connection with you. So I talked to him, and then like the next day he asked me, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what the hell? And then got really embarrassed from it, and then ended up blocking me, so I couldn't like.
You should have just went for it.
You lost a fan. You should have just did it. You would have had him
$500.
still as a fan.
I lost a follower and
And
$500.
You're out $500 and you lost a fan.
I don't know if I have any of those, just because
It's a different dynamic, I feel like, for us.
I guess it's mostly this is porn accounts though.
Yeah. Have you ever had your shit hacked?
No.
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 Yeah, same here.
Well,
Had my
they'll
Twitter.
Thank
follow
God.
me. They'll follow me on Instagram, and they don't even try to be like inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Their profile name is like
Very upfront.
Michelle, and it's like 700 numbers.
Yeah.
And it's just one picture.
And
of
then their
this-
name has like eggplants and like
Yeah.
raindrops in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And at first you're like,
It's very on the nose.
well, yeah. And I look at the profile. It's like no posts. They follow like one person, it's me, and then they'll message me,
Oh, yeah.
and they'll just the worst English. It's like, hi, me want you penis. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know what to say to that. I mean,
I mean,
What can you say?
Yeah.
I mean, other than yes or no.
well, really, but they try.
If they offered you 500.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, okay.
For $500, you give up your social security card because that's probably what they're going after.
Oh, sure.
Oh shit.
It's all worth it. I'm not even worth 500.
Well,
what am I gonna do with my identity?
I can't.
Make you more money.
Yeah.
Go into your account and be like, hey, where'd I get this? You got like a Venmo.
Yeah,
Dope feet,
they're
bro.
they're the nicest hackers in the world that just give me money.
So I don't really have a story like that you said, Streeter, but there was a girl on Instagram, and it's less of a story than I'm probably making it out to be, but she randomly followed me. It wasn't a porn account or anything. Like, it was a legit person. Like, she was from Seattle. I had no way of knowing her, no common followers, and she just randomly followed me. And I look in her account. She has like 600 followers, but almost all of her pictures are her like almost naked. Like, there was one.
550 of those followers.
There was one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one of her in the tub, and like her legs were crossed, and she had like a heart emoji over her vagina, and there was like it was barely covering it, like just enough to not get banned on Instagram. And there were two more on her titties, and you could kind of see her nipples. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll give you a follow. Like, you're just a crazy girl. I've been following her for about 8 months, and I just went on Instagram yesterday, and she has 60,000 followers.
So you had your shot.
So you had your shot with.
But not even that, but like I get to
up-and-coming
say,
porn
I get to
star.
be hipster and say, bro, the girl that's got 60,000 followers on Instagram, like I was like her 556th, like.
What did she?
It's like a
did you
weird
message
brag
her?
you
Well,
get
she was probably like one of those.
She probably bought her followers with the money that she got
She
from
might.
premium Snapchat.
From doing
account.
yeah. From all those hands and feet commercials, $500 a time,
Yeah.
whatever racks up, right?
A lot of people hit her up for her hands and her
Yeah.
feet. Only, strictly.
Oh my god.
Marc was the first one. Actually.
Mark was the first one.
Marc
Mark
was the one
DM'd
that
me
got
about
it.
his feet. He was the one. He was the one that did
Yeah.
it. So I want to talk about how we found our passions. How you found music. How you also found music. What it took for us to do it,
Okay.
and what it means now that you've stuck with it. We'll start with Dan. So if you could talk
Right in the mouth.
to us and the audience as well
Sure.
on how you started, even if it's just your love of comedy, because I know you're a huge comedy fan, and then you're creating music, and if that has deeper meaning, whether or not you can put music into words better than you can put words into words. Stuff like that.
yeah.
I think that's really cool. That's a really great thing that you should elaborate on.
Well, I was like 14, and my cousin, we all get together for Thanksgiving. My cousin came up.
Just found out about masturbation around that time as well.
Well, it was the same day, actually.
Oh, okay.
So it was a good day for me. It was a good day for me.
It was at the same exact time.
I masturbated while making my first song. He brought equipment. He gave me a free login
Right.
for the program. And
No.
ever since then, I've been doing it, and it's actually helped me a lot. I'm not very good at talking, as you can tell.
So you're good at talking. You're good at talking.
I can't put words
You
together.
can't.
Not
you
good
can
at
put
talking, you don't
feelings
shut
to
the hell
words.
up.
Oh, I can't put feelings to words, sure.
I would say,
Or thoughts to words.
Sure.
just hand
Uh,
sign.
yes,
Expect
yes,
people to know
yes.
what's going on.
No, because recently, let me bring this down to a sad level. Last year, I had a bad year for me and my family.
Uh-huh.
A couple of my family members passed away, and it was like at the end of the year, it's hard for me. So, and like I said, I can't put, like Streeter said, I can't put my feelings into words. I'm not like that. So the music was really good for me, like as a good tool to get all my feelings out and just produce things that I thought reminded me of the people that passed away, and yeah, that's really what's been for me. Like whenever I'm going through anything or even feeling happy, like if I want to express those feelings, I'll put in the music, and I have like 20 unfinished songs of just things that I've been feeling. Like throughout the day, I'll just throw things in there, and I'll hear things in my head of what I want to do, and I'll go back and just do them. So it's pretty nice for.
It's very good. It's very good, especially because I think some of your best work also comes from when you either have very high highs or very low lows.
Yeah.
No matter what you do in life as well. I think
definitely.
that's when the best. Nobody's gonna sit around and talk about their average day.
Yeah.
Nobody changed the world talking about their average
It
day.
might be because it was when, even though it was a really negative experience, it might be because you were the most motivated. And you're like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do something, whether it was in honor of someone that passed away or not. Like, you just felt motivated enough to make something that was good.
That's true. And the second family member that passed away was my cousin. He was very much into music.
Very big into music.
He produced it and he sung over it, and
Right.
this good overall musician. And so that really inspired me to just really tap into what I think he would do. And so, the cliche thing, he was through me when I was creating it, which is, it was really fun.
Turn your struggles into your success story. It's all it is. Your struggles are going to make you or break you. And the fact that you can go and do something where it makes you learn from it, you're able to create, inspire from it, whether you know you're inspiring the people around you, which Marc and I have talked about it as well. Like when you were home, we were here when you sent us the first draft of it, and we were like, we knew what you were saying without you having to talk to us about it, which was awesome. Like anytime that you can move people shows that you're doing a great job at no matter what you're doing.
And if I could just jump in on that point, when that was all first going on, we weren't really as close as we are now. So I didn't feel like I could talk to you about it, but when we had that time where we were sitting in this exact room and you showed us the beat and Streeter and I just sat down and started writing music, like I felt like in a way I, as someone that we were acquaintances who are now friends, I could sit down and help you through that, because in a sense that music might have been helping you through that experience, whether it was at the time when it happened when you first made the beat or sitting down with us and just kind of being with the boys, like hanging out, writing songs and trying to find something that motivated you to not move past it but kind of cope with the loss that you had.
So what got you into music? What's kept you into music? What motivates you to do music?
So I was dabbling with music when I was young. Really started to learn guitar when I was around 10, 11, and I haven't stopped since. It's been, if I'm 25, it's been 15 years, but it's actually been 13, I think.
You're
Numbers
23.
confuse me.
22.
Oh,
And, to Dan's point with his little story that he gave that was really sad,
I'm sorry.
whenever there's something that is really good that's going on in life, like you found a girl or a guy, depending on what you're into, no judgment here.
We're not judging what you're into, Marc.
If there's someone you're talking to and things are going really well, there's always something you could write about that turns into a song. And with me being able to play guitar and having somewhat of a voice with singing, it kind of just meshed well. And I was able to really just get my emotions through the lyrics that I was making. And on the opposite side of that coin, when shit goes really sour and shit goes south, one of the first things I'll do if I'm really upset, my dad will know to tell me this, like, just go in here and play guitar for a little bit, like, it's all gonna be good. And I'll come out.
He doesn't want to
talk to you.
No, he doesn't want to have to listen to my problems.
He's like,
He's very laissez-faire parent, And I'll just go in there, and then sometimes, if I'm lucky, I'll have 30 minutes in there, and I'll come out with something that doesn't sound like garbage, and I'll be able to go somewhere.
It's also
record
very
it,
rare.
And like it doesn't happen every time. That's a good point. Like it doesn't, like, creativity doesn't come to you when you want to sit down and be like, okay,
Can't plan.
I'm gonna write something right now.
You can't
go.
plan to
It's
be
got to be
creative.
like sometimes there's like a hook that you think in your head, like with Green Day, it was Billy Joe saying, "I'm the son of rage and love, Jesus of suburbia" on a walk, and then he like ran home and wrote down the whole 9-minute song. So it's stuff like that. It comes to you in waves,
Yeah,
but
but
it's always
your-
been there for me. And
Your
I
most
really
recent original,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with.
So this is the first time we've done this podcast. I don't know the formalities behind it, but I gotta piss like a racehorse right now. So how do we go about that?
You're not pissing. You're holding it. You're not getting paid unless you hold it. We'll be back after this short commercial break.
From
Our sponsors.
I urinated.
Alright, so long story short, I'm from a hunting and fishing town. It's never really been my thing. I found YouTube very early when it was coming out, but the way that I fell into it was gaming. And that's where I actually learned a lot of like how to brand myself. And I never started showing my personality or like actually doing it seriously. This dude.
Sorry.
Until I got cancer, which every time it's a joke. But no, it was when I got cancer. The way that I saw it was that my family is very sad about it.
I hope so.
I mean, like,
I mean, they fronted like they were.
yeah, they were just like, thank God, someone's gonna take this kid out. So get this fucking loser who plays video games out of my basement. No, but when I was 16, I got cancer, and I knew that it was either going to break me down to a low that I wasn't going to be able to come back from,
Yeah.
or well, I didn't know it at the time, but just out of the blue, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna document this because hopefully I can help somebody out one day.
Right.
And it was the day that I got diagnosed. There was a bunch of people at my house. I was in the shower because like that's my safe space.
Cool.
Like I think everybody, like you definitely know. Like I'm drunk, I'm sad, I'm anything. I'm in the shower for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Shower is just like my safe space. That's where I love to go, and I just sit there and I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in the shower, and my dad came in and checked on me. And I was like, I'm shaving my head, and I'm gonna do it for a video, and I'm gonna post it. I didn't have any intentions of it blowing up, but it ended up getting like 10,000 views in like 2 days, which was huge for me because like at that time I was a gaming YouTuber. I never really showed myself on camera that much. It blew up. I got contacted by like St. Jude's to put it on their page on their website. And that's kind of just where I found my niche, where I was like, this is friggin' dope, dude. Like this is what I want to do. This is so fun. Dan and I were talking about it while you were out in the bathroom. This is addicting.
Yeah.
Like tell me that this isn't addicting.
I get why people do it every day.
We thought we had like this whole plan, like what we were gonna do, where we do sections, we pause it, we work on what we were gonna do, but in reality it just ended up flowing, and I think that speaks good to what progression we're gonna have. Speaks well. I'm the English major. I should have clearly known that. It speaks well to the progression that we're gonna have throughout the upcoming episodes.
Yeah. You learn as you go, I feel like.
We're definitely going to learn as we go, so if you guys stick with us from now, or even if you find us in the future and you're coming back to watch this, thank you guys. For a little update on what we're going to, well, not really an update, because I guess we have to have like previous stuff to update you on new stuff. So what we plan to do after each episode is do a live performance on some music that we all practice. As for what is coming in the future, we're going to have some guests on the show. We have a big guest who I'm not going to name drop right now until it actually goes through. That is going to be on the show.
It's going to be awesome.
We didn't want to do it for our first one because we wanted to establish ourselves, I guess you could say. We wanted to establish that this is like our show. We don't want to ride on the coattail of somebody else to get our views originally.
Yeah. I feel like
you wouldn't know much about the coattail thing. However, we're going to do some awesome stuff locally as well. We're going to have local talent because while we're at college, if you're going into college or in college now, definitely take this as a lesson. This is the best place that you can network. You're going to have a very wide variety of people that you're always going to want to keep ties with.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring in some local creators. I have a few plans for that. And also, be sure to always make sure you watch the Darty edition of our podcast.
It's gonna be.
If there is one series that I'm going to really drill into your minds that is going to be good, it's going to be the Darty edition.
I can't wait for that.
It's not going to be monetized. We are going to be absolutely hammered.
Yeah, it's not
doing this.
Yes. Leave comments.
Yes.
For recommendations.
Yes,
for
we need feedback.
Topics.
Give us feedback.
Definitely topics.
Questions.
We need questions because we also want to end each podcast with a Q&A where we answer a few questions that you guys are wondering. I've been Streeter.
I'm Dan.
I'm Mark.
This has been the first episode of Street Talk. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we are out. Later, y'all.
Peace.
That's the point of it, is that we can talk about these
What are
things.
Whoa! Enough!
We can't! You
No,
don't
look
say
what
that.
I did this. I'm
That
sorry.
got bleeped! That got bleeped! Future Andrew bleeped that!